Hey, GutFoxx here. Today we will be talking about how to set up your special teams. I'll post a link to the full team in the description in case you want a quick reference later. This image that you see on your screen is provided by you, Daryl Revis24 on Reddit, and I thank him for it. So basically I'm going to run by position. We'll start with a kick return. So when you look at the screen, you see which positions go where, and when you see the screen reflected, you see a handsome man. Kick returner 1 should be the best kick returner you can afford. Whether that's the top of the range, like flashback Ted Ginn, or season's vet Devin Hester, or to the lower end with Trindon Holliday and Dre Archer, or Tavon Austin. Get the best one of those 5 you can reasonably afford there. Just be aware that Trindon and Dre have as many carrying issues as I have of Bears Life magazine. Your kick return 2 should be a fullback that can block. So, as I place kick returner 1 there, I'm going to take Trindon Holliday. So, the fullback that can block should be reasonably cheap because he's only going to go in this position. He can't be 1 or 2 on fullback because they are also on the formation and he will be subbed out. So, you need a cheap player only in one position. Sounds like my sex life. It seems that fullback prices right now are quite high, so it might be tough to find a budget guy here. But Mike Cox is ideal. He's over 2,000 coins though. So I guess I'll go with Kiro Small here. He has high impact block, but he has a little bit lower run block than I'd like. You could say it's smaller than I'd like. But I'll see how he does blocks on kickoffs before deciding. And then with this formation, always choose at kickoff where the kickoff returner 2 is in front of kick returner 1. Don't do the ones like you see on the screen here where they're next to each other because you don't want your fullback catching the ball. So the next line of blockers there, the tight ends, fullbacks there, are the most important for the kick return scheme. Tight ends 2 and 3, fullbacks 1 and 2. Since the price of fullbacks is through the roof, we'll be investing solely in tight ends that can block, and we will place them at all 4 positions. 4 positions? Sounds like something I wouldn't be into. So the 4 to target are Dwayne Allen at tight end number 2. Because he's both a decent catcher as your tight end number 2 in 2 tight end sets, and a heck of a road grader when running the ball. So I'm going to put Lee Smith at tight end number 3 because he's just a great blocker. So go with him there. Craig Stevens, I will put him at fullback number 1. He's not as good a blocker as Ben Hartsock, who we'll get to. He's the number 1 tight end blocker available. But Craig is faster. And as you'll see in a minute, that's important for kickoff coverage. He has 90 acceleration with 84 speed. He's quicker than a muskrat in heat. So like I said, Ben Hartsock is next. He should be your fullback number 2. Alternatively, Michael Palmer is a cheaper version here. I like to sub in Ben Hartsock as my tight end number 1 when I know I'm running the ball on offense, because usually I have a receiving tight end as my number 1 because he's my safety blanket on third downs. Like I use my blankie to keep me safe from rapists at night. So on to the front line. Their main job is basically kickoffs, not kick returns. And you'll just have to take what you can get on kick returns there. And basically at bar closing times is when you take what you can get. Similar. So although I will say, if you can afford to put Anthony Barr as your left outside linebacker number 2, I would do it. He's great for both kickoffs and kickoff returns relative to his position. So with our kickoff return team settled, we'll move on to kickoffs, which share those players with kick returns. And one thing I've noticed that hit stick isn't as good this year. Try hitting X on the Xbox One for a powerful tackle that seems to get better animations. So we'll go left to right on this kickoff screen here. Wide receiver number 5. And I am skipping cornerbacks 3 and 4 because they are what your defense needs. You know, they have more important jobs in kickoffs, like assassinating Hitler in 1923. Also nickel and dime defense. So determine who you want on defense with limited thought to kickoffs there. But I will say the speedier the better for kickoffs in those positions because they are going around the outside and will need to contain the runner. So wide receiver number 5 we're back at. Not a lot of people use 5 wide receiver sets a lot, so we'll focus on a good kickoff guy here. You want someone fast who can tackle, good pursuit, and block shed for wide receiver, and that person's name is Devin Smith. 71 overall wide receiver 5. So if you don't run 5 wide receivers a lot, take a look at him. Then look at yourself and ask yourself, how was Babby formed? But if you do run 5 wide receivers a lot, use your 5th wide receiver as your guy. Left outside linebacker number 2. Like I said, use Anthony Barr if you can afford him. Although his hit power is a little low, on kickoff I like my guys to have high speed and hit power. Those are the main 2 attributes I'm looking for. So the guy I'd go with is Benardrick McKinney. He keeps covering up Devin Smith's name. There we go. Use him as your left outside linebacker number 2. He's got 85 speed, 88 acceleration, 89 hit power, 84 block shed, 91 pursuit. He's 325 coins. Cheap like my attitude. Strong safety number 2. Taylor Mays here is ideal, but he's about 5,000 coins because he's such a good user player. A guy who is cheap for this role is Shamarko Sharknado Thomas. He's got 90 speed, 93 acceleration, 90 hit power. Middle linebacker number 2. If you use a 3-4, you don't need to listen to this part. You're going to have a middle linebacker in your starting lineup. But if you use a 4-3, your second middle linebacker's main purpose will be on kickoffs and for the occasional sub, with ham, salami, and provolone, of course. If you can get Ryan Shazier as your second middle linebacker, do it. He's a great user if you do run 3-4 and ideal on kickoffs. But for a good budget kickoff guy, Xavier Gooden is 500 coins, 88 speed, 90 acceleration, and 86 hit power. Alright, right outside linebacker. Your second one. Moving the screen on you. Get Cornelius Washington. He's amazing at kickoffs. I love him like I love bears. The humans, not the animal. And not the team either. The other good players on kickoffs at these linebacker positions here are Marquise Spurriel, Bud Dupree, and Corey Lemonnier. We already talked about tight end number 2 and your fullback number 1. Your free safety number 2 should be 77 LaRon Landry. The reason is this: he's got 98 hit power. He's only going for 1,300 coins. 98 hit power is the most power I've seen this side of the Colorado River. That's mostly due to Hoover Dam, of course. Otherwise, if LaRon Hoover Landry is too much, Lonnie Ballantine is the target. He's only going for a couple hundred coins. Alright, let me know. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.